but we got in a fight last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
Straight up did not handle it well and had to go, what was that?
I healed enough to attract you, but we were kind of toxic.
It's not linear. Growth is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And so, yeah, we both help people heal so that their relationships are better. We help give people tools to avoid conflicts or to navigate them in a more healthy way. But we got in a fight last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
Straight up did not handle it well and had to go, what was that? I knew exactly what I should be doing in that situation and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then it's very easy in those moments when to go into my shame and like go into this like, well, I should being the key word there. Whenever you should yourself, like raise the flag, right? I should myself to death where I'm like, I should have done this and I should have done that. And I'm not where I'm at. And it's easy to just kind of spiral into that shame and that toxicity. And it's just not helpful. And that is where I think our last episode on like compassion comes in, where it's like, you have to give yourself compassion. We're not ever going to be perfect. We're always going to continue making mistakes, owning it, taking responsibility and accountability and moving forward. So,
yeah. And I don't know, sometimes in this podcast, I just feel I've had a difficult time feeling like I need to have all the answers. And I don't like that feeling because I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all figured out, you know? And I think it's just better to say that. Like, it's just better to say, I don't have it all figured out. I do have a lot figured out. I have a lot more figured out than I had 5 years ago.
yeah, I guess I want to dig into a little bit where is this voice coming from that says you have to have it all figured out?
Probably fear. Like, I know we're very vulnerable on here and we've shared a lot of our trauma, but I don't feel like I've shared my current struggles a lot. I've shared a lot of previous struggles that I've dealt with, but the current struggle that I deal with is this imposter syndrome. Like, I got a divorce. I worked through a lot of childhood trauma and I healed enough to attract you, but we were kind of toxic. And then we healed and worked through so much and in a short time because we went to war with ourselves because we're in our mid-30s and didn't want to keep fumbling around forever. You didn't want to keep traveling the world and go to 40 more countries to try to find yourself. I didn't want to keep going from relationship to relationship and end up in heartbreak. And so we decided to hunker down and do this thing and work through our trauma together and work and heal. And we're like, if people can do this, then so can we. And then we did. And we had some success in our relationship. And with the girl, I mean, gosh, we had so much success with the girls were what showed us the fruit, I would say. Like watching them kind of change and heal and show up so much more confident and better once our relationship felt good and we were giving them that example, that it really felt like we were providing a safety for them. You know, when they would go to their moms, they weren't worried about me. Like it was just nice to, the fruit was there, right? So then we were like, we got to share this stuff, these tools that we've learned, this stuff that we've learned, we got to share this with the world. And then it was another year before we even started this podcast. And then we started. And then at that point, we're like, we feel called to help people. And then we started helping people. And as I started helping people, I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome. I've dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome doing this podcast, and a lot of imposter syndrome around posting online. Like posting online has been the scariest thing in the world for me. So talk about authenticity. That's my authentic truth. Like I can't really talk about authenticity without saying I've been struggling for a while, and I didn't want to say it on the podcast because it was like, how do you have a podcast and also say you're struggling to have a podcast, you know? And how do you post online and also say it's like gut wrenching to post online, but yet you're doing it every day? It's like, I'm doing it every day because I feel like God put this on my heart. Like we've gone to bed at some nights and been like, what are we doing? Like, we put out a video on YouTube that says how we fixed our sex life.
Yeah, we actually were in bed last night, said that to each other, and just went,
like, what in the world
happened?